Hey everyone, so in this video I want to go over the truths behind dropshipping. I think a lot of people out there have this common misconception that dropshipping is a get rich quick kind of scheme, and you can basically throw up a Shopify store, connect your products into Aliexpress to Oberlo, runs a few Facebook ads, and you're going to be a millionaire. And it doesn't really work like that. There's a lot of effort and a lot of work that goes into the back end behind it, especially at the beginning, that makes you successful. You know, you can't just throw up some crappy default theme Shopify store and run some standard Facebook ads and make money. It doesn't really work like that. There's a little bit more to it, and I think a lot of people don't realize that when they're getting into dropshipping. So this video is basically to go over some of those misconceptions and try and talk a bit of truth about dropshipping. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Wane. I'm a dropshipper and my online store has done over $500,000 in sales. I was recently flown out to Berlin by Oberlo to do a video interview with them to talk about the success of my business and to give some advice to their subscribers. So if you haven't seen that video, make sure you go and check it out. There'll be a link in the description. But the purpose of this video is to basically talk about the truths of dropshipping, because I feel like a lot of other YouTubers, especially YouTubers, are out there flashing off the cars, the houses, you know, the money they've made with dropshipping, and it's very much a look at me kind of mentality, you know, which is it's typical of social media, but that's pretty much what it's about. And I think not a lot of people are talking the real truths, and they're kind of hiding the the facts with dropshipping and the amount of work and effort that has to go in, especially at the beginning of dropshipping, how much effort you have to put in to get your store up and running and to understand how Facebook ads work, because there are a lot of pitfalls to Facebook ads and you can lose a lot of money if you don't understand how to use it. So I think the main misconception with dropshipping is people think this is a get rich quick kind of scheme. They think they can, you know, create this Shopify store, run some Facebook ads, and they're going to start making money straight away. And I've seen people question why after spending $20 they're not making any money. And all you have to do is go and look at their online store to know exactly why they're not making money. And I think the first hurdle people don't seem to overcome is actually putting the effort into their store. They don't build their store correctly, and they think that if they just throw something up with a default theme, people are going to come and buy from them. And it doesn't work like that. You have to put your effort in. You have to think of it from a consumer's point of view, and you have to think about trust. The main thing I say to people, the main point I try and get across at the beginning is, when you're building your store, you always need to have in the back of your mind is, would I buy from this store? And if you can't answer yes, honestly can't answer yes to that, then no one else is going to buy from you. You need to basically know that your store is trustworthy. And a really good tip that I give out to people is, if you've built your store, show somebody who doesn't know that it's your store, and just ask them, say, I just found this store, do you think I should buy this product from it? And if they go, well, it looks a bit dodgy, that should tell you straight away that you've not done enough on your store. And no matter how good your product is, no matter how good your adverts are, if your store isn't good, no one's going to buy from you. I took mine to an extra step. I actually posted my website, my dropshipping store, on Trustpilot. So not only do I have the reviews from the app, the Ali reviews within my store that pulls through, obviously, the AliExpress reviews, I've also got an independent reviewer that has my profile on their website, and I linked that from my website to Trustpilot, and any customer that comes to my store can go through to the Trustpilot website and see legitimate reviews from real customers from my store, and that immediately tells them that this isn't a scam. They can trust this website because of all the positive feedback that I'm getting on the Trustpilot site. And that's an extra step that I take to reassure my customers that this is a legitimate business. And I think a lot of people just think they can throw on these Visa verified kind of trust badges and that'll be enough. And it doesn't work like that. You know, I don't even have any of them on my store. It's very much the way I see it is, if someone's trying to prove to me that they're secure, they're probably not secure. And that's what I try and avoid. I try and be a little bit different with it, and I try and think about it in a different kind of way. The next misconception with dropshipping is people think they can use Facebook ads the Facebook Ads Manager. They think they can just create an account on the Business Manager, jump straight in there, start advertising, and they'll be able to just get sales. And it really doesn't work like that. Facebook is notoriously difficult to understand. There's so much involved in it. And if you think that you can just go in there and wing it without having any idea about what it means, how the algorithm works, all the different kind of terminology behind it, then you're going to fail. And I'll tell you that now. There's so much to it that it's taken me hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of Facebook ads to get to the point where I understand it, and not a lot of people have that luxury. And the only reason I did that was because I got lucky at the beginning with my first product. I found that product and that snowballed and snowballed and snowballed, and it allowed me to keep reinvesting my profits back in and understanding Facebook ads more and more. And something that I wished I had at the beginning was I wish I had someone to show me how to do that, somebody to teach me how Facebook ads worked. And if I could start over again, without a shadow of doubt, I'd be jumping on a course. I would be getting a course just to help me, to guide me, because I would have saved thousands of pounds if I had done that at the beginning rather than just trying to figure it out myself. And I think that is a big misconception people have. They think they can watch a few free videos on YouTube where people kind of glance over things and talk about different aspects of it and then put it together and try and do this themselves. And it doesn't really work like that. I know, because I've made a lot of mistakes, and I could have saved a lot of money if I'd invested in myself earlier on. And that's something that people don't realize. They see that cost of a course as being a big problem, but they don't realize how much money they're actually going to lose by not getting that course. So it's invest in yourself and invest in somebody to show you how to do it. And I think that's probably the most important piece of advice I could ever give you, is invest and learn from someone who has done it. Whether that's me, whether that's somebody else, it's irrelevant. Obviously I've created the Advanced Dropshipping Academy. If you want to do that, and that's fine, but you don't have to. It's your choice. But what I'm saying is that is the step that I would take if I started again, just because it's so difficult to figure it out on your own without somebody guiding you. But yeah, a lot of people think they can do this, and a lot of people soon realize that they're spending a lot more on Facebook than they anticipated, and they're not getting that return as quickly as they expected. But once you get your store up and running, once you understand in Facebook ads, there is profit to be made. People wouldn't be doing this business if it wasn't profitable. Now, a lot of questions people always get is, how much profit did you make off that? How much profit did you make off that? Because everyone always goes out with that revenue number, don't they? They always go out with, look, I've made X amount of money, I made X amount of money, but they never really talk about what the percentage was. And if you're new to dropshipping, the percentages of profit aren't as high as you would expect. You would be looking in the regions of 10 to 40% probably. The majority of people will be hovering around that 10% just because they're doing things wrong. And I think the only way you start getting up to that 30, 35, 40% profit margin is if you truly understand how it works and how Facebook ads work and how to advertise your product. And really, that only comes with experience. That only comes from doing it yourself and learning from your mistakes, or getting somebody to show you how to do that. And there's a lot of different sort of variables when it comes to it. Some of the products that I'm running right now, I'm hitting around a 30% profit margin on it. They're doing really, really well. But I've seen products I've run myself that have been doing 5-6% profit margins, and it's like there isn't that much to be made off some products out there. And I think you have to realize as well that not every single product you look to run is going to be a winning product. Not every single product that you test is going to blow up into a 6-figure product. You have these winning products, these ultimate kind of like golden products that you want to try and find, but there are thousands and thousands and thousands of products that can make a small amount of money. So what I like to tell people is that, yes, you want to try and find this 6-figure product, but what if you can find 5 products that make you less than that, but combined it's still a healthy chunk? And if you want to diversify, I remember hearing somebody, I can't remember the name of the guy now, but he basically said, you don't have a business if you only have one product. And that's very true. If you can create something and start selling one product, but if that one product fails, you don't really have anything to fall back on. So you don't have a business. You have a store. It's not a business. And it's how you want to look at this dropshipping. If you're trying to jump on it and you're just trying to basically get a quick buck, it's probably not going to work. You're probably going to spend more than you anticipate. But if you're looking at this as a business and you're seeing it as something that you want to take forward over the next few years, and in that process, grow something and grow into a six-figure business, then that is more likely to happen. But on the other hand, dropshipping, it's a really good business model to get into because it's probably the only one that I'm aware of where there's such a low entry requirement. You don't need a warehouse. You don't need to buy $10,000 worth of stock. You don't need to start signing contracts with carriers and distributors and all sorts of stuff. It's literally, you can do it from a laptop anywhere in the world, and that's why dropshipping is so good, because anybody can get involved in it. But there's just a barrier for entry that you need to get past. You need to learn a certain set of skills to be successful with it. And I think a lot of people just think they can create something and be successful, and it doesn't work like that. And that's why you hear, dropshipping is saturated. You can't do it anymore. There's not enough. There's too many people doing it. That's not true. There's plenty and plenty of money to be made with dropshipping. It's just that the people who are saying it's saturated and it's not working anymore are the people who haven't been successful because they haven't learned the skills you need to learn. And I think that's something you need to be aware of if you're thinking about getting into dropshipping, is that there is a set of skills that need to be learned, and if you don't learn them, you're going to struggle with it. Another misconception is that you need thousands and thousands of dollars to get started in dropshipping. I don't know who said that, who started that, but it's really not true. As some of you know, like my story, I started with £250. That's all I could afford. That's all I could scrape together. That was months worth of saving. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to go to America. I wanted to travel across the US. I wanted to do a road trip from New York to LA. And I couldn't afford to do that on the salary I was on. I couldn't afford to do that while I was trying to pay for my mortgage. I couldn't do that while I was paying for other bills I had going on in my life at the time. And it was difficult to save that money, but I needed to take that chance. I needed to do it. And that £250, I found my first winning product in, because I spent hours and hours and hours researching how to do it. It became my life. It consumed me for a while, and it was just, I learned everything I possibly could around Facebook advertising, around dropshipping, Aliexpress, Oberlo, everything to do with it. I looked at some of the most successful dropshippers at the time and sort of basically copied what they were doing, and not necessarily stealing from them, but using the techniques and the things they were doing at the time to be successful. And because of that effort that I put in, that learning about it before I got involved in it, it gave me the chance to be successful. And I don't think if I hadn't have put that time in it, if I hadn't have learned from those people, then I wouldn't have been successful in dropshipping at all. And that's what you have to realize. Like, this is a legitimate business, and you need to learn these skills to be successful in it. Otherwise, you're gonna waste a lot of money. And it's quite interesting. Some of the students that I've had one-on-one coaching with me on the coaching calls, they, the questions they're asking are the same questions I were asking at the beginning. And from what they've said to me, having that conversation with me has saved them thousands of dollars in mistakes because of those phone calls I have with them. They love the fact that they can just ask and get the answer from someone who's done it, someone who's experienced it, and it's saving. I had one guy the other day who had a coaching call with me, hadn't made a single sale, and he was struggling. He was asking the right questions, he just didn't know what the answer to them was. And after we had our phone call, he went away, put some of the suggestions I gave him into action, and he made his first sale the very next day. And that came from the questions he was asking and learning the answers for someone who's done it. And that's what you need to understand, is that you can't always just wing this. You have to learn from it. So yeah, I think my ultimate advice is, if you're looking to get into dropshipping, then you need to choose whether you want to invest in yourself and get a course, whether that be the Advanced Dropshipping Academy, or someone else's course, or just somebody to show you how to do it. You need to decide if that's for you, or if you are going to risk it and just try and wing it. And that's a big risk. I personally feel that if I was starting again, I would definitely look at trying to get somebody to show me how to do it, because I would have saved thousands and thousands of pounds in mistakes. One weekend, for example, I lost over £3,000 in the space of a weekend by getting something wrong on my store because I didn't know the answer to that question and I didn't ask. And I didn't invest in myself to find out what the answer was, and I made that mistake, and I lost 3,000 in a weekend. Never made that mistake again, because that stung, obviously, but you learn from those mistakes. Luckily, I was in a position at the time that I had winning products going, and I could soak it up, but it still hurt. You know, you're still £3,000 that I'm losing in a weekend, and it's kind of like, if there's somebody there to tell you, to show you how to do it, that's something you need to be doing. You need to be taking advantage of someone who's been through that and done it for themselves. All you need to remember is that this will take time. You're not gonna literally switch on your store, run an ad, and make money straight away. You know, there's gonna be times where it's going really well, and there's gonna be times where it's not going so well. And as long as you can accept that you're gonna have up and downs, you can do this. As long as you're driven and determined to make this work, you can make dropshipping work, and you can be successful at it. Whether you decide to invest in a mentor, get a course, or whether you decide to do it yourself, that's completely fine. That's your choice. But if you're determined and you follow the steps that you need to take, you can be successful in dropshipping, and it's still a legitimate business model to get into, no matter what people are saying. So hopefully you found this video insightful. Hopefully it opens your eyes a little bit to the darker side, I suppose, of dropshipping, the difficulties that people have. It's not all flashy cars and big houses. You know, there is real work to be done in the back end of it. There's real work you have to put in to make this work, and you're going to have to put time in at the beginning, especially very early in the beginning, to get this up and running. Obviously, once you start making money on it and you can start to outsource, you can start to outsource your order processing, your customer service, and you can basically outsource everything to virtual assistants, so you can free up more of your own time to work on your adverts, or work on your product research, or even just enjoy the money that you are making from dropshipping, because it can be life-changing. I'm doing a lot of things that I never thought I would be doing. You know, I've done things that I could only ever dream of, and that's all because I started this dropshipping journey. So if you have any questions about dropshipping, you have any questions about this video, any questions about myself, how I got started, then just drop them in the comments below, because I'm trying to answer them all. As this channel is starting to grow a lot quicker than I expected, then it's becoming harder and harder to answer everything because of the amount of questions that are coming in. But if you do want to contact me through my Facebook page, the links are in the description of this video, so go and check that out. I try and answer as much as I can. If you are interested in having coaching with me, then you can do that through the Facebook page as well. So yeah, drop me a like, subscribe if you're new. Make sure you check out the Oberlo video as well. Everything you need to know is in that description. Just go and have a read through it. All the links that you need are in there. So yeah, hopefully you found this useful, and I will catch you in the next one.